And we're going to have Robbie introduce her. Robbie is on our committee, and he also brought the donuts. So, for those of you that were on time, yay for you. You get to go out first and get a donut at the end. All you stragglers that came in late that got a donuts, let the others get one.
Being early is not always rewarded.
Well,
Early bird is not always.
thank you, Robbie.
And before I get there, I would like to just kind of comment about 1 Million Cups. I've been involved with it from the beginning, and thank you always for making me a part of it. One of my favorite meetings always is this month. We have a nice group today. Our goal is really to have to find a bigger room. So if you come, if this is your first time here and you like it, come back. It's the first Wednesday of every month except next month. All right, first Wednesday of every month though we're here. We're usually upstairs, like Trey said, on the 3rd floor. But it's a great meeting. You come, it doesn't cost you anything to be here. You're always going to see some really interesting companies, meet some really interesting people, and you never know who's here that's going to be good to help you. So come back and bring somebody, and we just want to keep growing because it is fun and it serves such a great purpose. And Liz, I just did want to say that I know everybody in the room now is thinking Liz is sizing me up for how I'm dressed today.
Not unless you're paying.
Okay, fair enough. All right, it's a privilege and honor for me now to present our next speaker, Jennifer Flagg. It is just a delight. You're gonna love her. She's gonna give you a great message, and you're gonna realize that she just has the biggest heart that you've probably ever seen, and just a heart for serving and a heart for helping, and especially children. She is from New Orleans, and she moved to Augusta after her first employment. Thank you for your service, Jennifer, there. She actually volunteers with Autism Speaks and always wants to affect a positive change. She homeschools 2 little ones, Christian and Donovan, and this really resonated with me on her bio. She loves words, has always loved words. So guess what her favorite game is?
Scrabble.
Free donut for you. And she's hopeful that when she arrives in heaven that they will have a library, because that is her favorite. One of her children, and I'm going to let her tell most of her story because it is so compelling, but one of her children is autistic, and she had to wait 5 years before she heard him say, "I love you." And that is one of the sweetest sounds she's ever heard to this day. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Jennifer to you. How about a warm welcome?
Thank you, Mr. Can y'all hear me? China may have stolen my voice. Thank you for that warm introduction, Mr. King. And good morning, 1 Million Cups. I'd like to start by thanking you for this opportunity to come and tell you a little bit more about myself and an app that I'm hoping will help countless people master the English language. So here we have what I'm naming, Say What. We have Say What helps, say what works, say what you mean, and see what you say. So a little bit about me. Who is Jennifer Flagg? That really depends on who you ask. If you ask one of my 5 kids, I'm pretty sure they'll say mom. I hear it all day long, mom. Hopefully if you ask my husband, who's sitting right over there, hopefully he'll say wife. Hopefully it won't be mom also. Hopefully he'll say wife. If you ask one of 300 some odd children in China, they'll probably say teacher. But right now in this moment, I am an aspiring app developer. And that's who I am. So let's talk a little bit more about my inspiration for the app. The inspiration for the app came when my youngest son, Christian, was diagnosed with autism spectrum disorder. At the age of 4, he began school and he was still not talking. I sought speech services, which eventually led to, bless you, an autism diagnosis. And he did great once he started speech. He learned those nouns and verbs and all the different different parts of speech. He built a great vocabulary, and he even did great with the grammar. But when it came time for him to put all those pieces and parts together to make a sentence, he struggled. He had the parts, but he just couldn't figure out how to put them together. So I did what I consider something any mom would do. I tried to help my baby. I created what I call Christian Sentence Builder Kit. In the kit, there were nouns and verbs and pronouns, the different parts of speech, along with a little picture graphic of what each card had. So if he pulled from the nouns, there was a cat, it'd be a picture of a cat. Same with the verbs. So when he used it, he just pull a noun, pull a verb, put it together, instant sentence. For children on the spectrum, they struggle with abstract ideas, so I wanted him to have something concrete that he could pull from, that would show him how sentences go together. So when he didn't have the cards, he'd still know how to do it. And it worked very well. It gave him a great foundation. It worked so well, I grabbed my phone, I grabbed his tablet, and I went in search of an app that would allow him to do something along these lines, but I wanted more. I didn't want him just to see a static picture. I wanted him to manipulate or make sentences and actually see what those words meant when he put them together. I didn't find anything, absolutely nothing. With 5 children, life got in the way. I let that thought go, and I just mommed on. I mommed right into a new job. Ni hao. I now work with a wonderful company called VIP Kid, and I absolutely loved it. That's why I need the mic. Talking all the way in China, my voice isn't always there. I've taught over 2,000 classes, as you see, over 300 students, and it didn't take me 2,000 classes to learn that and realize that a lot of my students struggle with the same problems my son did. You know, they're doing great in Chinese, but learning this extra language, this other language, they struggle with putting the pieces together. They did great with vocab, great with grammar, but putting it together, they struggle. So when I worked with him, I pulled on a lot of skills that I learned in working with Christians. I also realized very quickly that VIP Kid uses a lot of the same strategies and techniques that his speech therapist used. So it worked well, and with all of those things going on, this app idea came back to mind. So this time I thought, rather than just letting it fall by the wayside, whoa, that's small. Rather than just letting it fall by the wayside, maybe I'm the person that I'm waiting for. So I got the idea to try and make this app a reality myself. And what the app basically does, it allows the user to create and or manipulate sentences, and then they see a small little video of what they've made. At the end of the day, there's a saying, all roads lead to Rome. And being a resident of New Orleans, you didn't want to get stuck in New Orleans during Katrina, because there's one road in, one road out. A lot of people, that made quite a traffic jam. All roads lead to Rome. It's a lot like what I'm doing here. I'm hoping to connect and make many different pathways to that little piece of information, that word. So when the child comes in contact with this word again, or the user comes in contact with this word again, if they're struggling in one way, they can access it through another way to help them not just learn words, but master a language. So if, say, you were the user and you made a sentence, as long as it's grammatically correct. Let's say your sentence is, the banana eats a dinosaur. We know that doesn't happen, can't happen, but it's grammatically correct. So then you see a video of maybe a big dinosaur-sized banana chomping this little bitty banana-sized dinosaur, or maybe you see a tiny little banana chomping on a T-Rex toe. But at the end of the day, you see what your sentence means. And that's all I'm hoping to do, is to help other people that are struggling with the English language to find their voice. Thank you. Yes.
So how far along are you in that process?
Very beginning.
That's what we do here at the clubhouse.
Very beginning. I've actually reached out to the company, VIP Kid, and they've expressed interest, but they're growing by leaps and bounds on so many different fronts. They're just trying to see where they love it. They're trying to see where it could fit in with them. I have another company, a gentleman that I work with at Ideas Pro, they're interested in it. However, I need funding. It's not cheap to make an app. And I, as I said, mother of 5. Right now, I'm a stay-at-home mother of 5. I work with VIP Kid, but it's part-time. And I've recently been honored with the privilege of caring for my mother as her health is failing. So I'm pulled in a lot of different directions.
When you mentioned that, my mother stayed in Randall Wild, which is elderly, and I was wondering if that's something that you could resolve, because she was bordering on dementia, and a lot of the people had trouble talking to the
Yeah.
excuse me.
No, I understand. My mother, she was at a facility, but she wasn't doing well at the facility. So I brought her home. Every time I saw her, she said, before I brought her home, the visit before I brought her home, she was in tears. I just want to go home. So she's home. She raised me, so it's only fair that I care for her in this time.
No. What
The-
I'm saying is the communication.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I hadn't considered that stage.
Yeah.
I work with children, so they're the first people that come to my mind. But it absolutely, it's not just for people on the spectrum. It's not just for ESL. It's for anyone that would benefit. From anyone that would benefit. And the way I wanted to develop and have the app focus is different levels. So when you begin, you wouldn't necessarily start at the beginning of a 3-year-old unless that's where developmentally you are. So I think it'd be awesome. I'd love to help anyone find their voice. Everyone. Yes.
So your main objective right now is to find funding, is that?
Yes, I'm not a coder, I'm not a programmer, I don't know how they're gonna do all that stuff. I just know what I want them to do. And I'm just seeking funding at this point, yes.
Can you put a number on
$50,000 is the big number they gave me, 25 to 50,000. So I shoot high in case that's what they actually need.
it? Right. And what's your plan so far? I mean, what's the roadmap to get there?
Right now I'm saving. If I have to tap into retirement, I'm not really wanting to do that. If I have to, I will, and seeking investors.
So these folks in this room right here would be a phenomenal resource for
Absolutely.
you. It'd be phenomenal. So,
Awesome, thank you.
You see this, the mobile app, the business model, because that's a lot of what we do here at the clubhouse, is how do you make money doing that very thing as a passion project? Because at the end of the day, we're all about economic independence and making it a livelihood for you as opposed to, stretching yourself out for the community and the cause. So what would be an example of maybe your business model for this?
As far as the business, I really haven't got to that point. I've spoken with the gentleman, and we have talked about different ways to monetize that. So I know that there are many different ways. My children play apps. I know there's always a way for them to get money from me. So right now, because I wanted to reach as many people as possible, I want the app to be free, or at least a light version, and then different things from them, maybe ads, or I've looked into different things, but since I'm still at the very beginning stage, I'll just have to see what fits best with where I want to go and the people that I want to reach. But I have considered it, and I am looking at the different options. So, yes.
There's some great resources here for you as well.
Thank you.
Does anyone else have any other questions? So the last question we always ask is what is it for the community? I know you said you wanted funding, but is there any other connections or introductions or relationships locally or even with our extended network that we can help you with?
Okay, well, I volunteer with Autism Speaks, so as I said, the app is not specifically for people with autism, but I volunteer with Autism Speaks. So any organizations that might have an interest in the app, or have people that would benefit from the app, I'm happy to speak with them. So yeah, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I spend a lot of time at home, so I don't have these different connections. So anybody that could either get me to the money or get me to the app, help. Because as I said, I'm at the very beginning stages.
Well, I'm glad you came here today. So